Hey, what's up? It's Jake. Welcome in again to alternativeuke. Sorry, it's been a minute. Life has happened over here, so haven't had a whole lot of time to do any more videos, but wanted to get back into it and do some Foo Fighters. And I thought, man, let's really dive into the catalog here. We can do a deep cut. There's so much to pick from the Foo. So of course we're doing Everlong. So hopefully you're cool with that. Of course, it's a lot of people's favorite Foo song, or at least in the top somewhere. It's a great song, so we're gonna do it, and it's not too bad to play on the uke. It's pretty fun, and let's get into it. Okay, first things first, let's get in tune. It is standard tuning, so your uke should sound like this. All right, so the main verse of the song is basically going to just have three chords, and we'll move a couple notes around depending on where we are in that verse or in between verses, but for the most part, it can be played using this D major 7th shape, using this power chord style that's kind of adding the B, but is hitting a lot of those same notes. And then we're just gonna slide our hand down 4 frets, and so that we're open instead of barred there. And then back up 4 frets to that same chord that we were on before. So if you play through that, it's gonna sound like this. And that's the majority of the verse. Now you can just keep on playing those 3 chords in that way. There's a couple parts of the song that add a little bit. So if you're playing in between the verses, right after this chord, you might hear this note added. So it's going to be the same shape where you're barring and playing that, but you're throwing your pinky on the 9th fret here, and then just still sliding down the 4 frets and back up the 4 frets. So you can add that to sections of the song if you want. And then for the verse, instead of playing this, I feel like you can do that, but it kind of clashes intentionally with the vocal. And I like to follow the vocal a little bit closer when I'm playing rhythm on uke. So to do that, we're just going to play this like kind of major 6th, just completely barring the 2nd fret, and then open up that 1st string, so to just a D. So that gets that Everlong. So you can start and then go back to, and you can drop a note here if you want to drop your middle finger to get more of the melody in there. I waited here for you. So those are just some ideas that you can kind of play around with if you want to mirror the vocal a little bit more in your arrangement. That'll bring us to the chorus of the song, which uses some octaves. So those are fun. So we're going to be starting on our 1st fret here, and we've got a 3 fret span. So if we're playing the 1st fret on the 3rd string here, we're going to be on the 4th fret, and we're just going to keep that interval moving up here. That's an octave. So when I'm playing these, I'm still strumming because obviously this is a loud, emotional part of the song. But what I want to do is really block out the 2nd and 4th strings when I'm playing the vocals. So I'll be using my index finger to kind of mute, to kind of touch the 1st string, or sorry, the 4th string, top string here. And then also kind of getting the 2nd string as well here. So it's not really making any noise, and I'm just getting, so all I'm hearing when I'm playing that is the octave, and you can just slide that up. So it'll be going from the 1st fret to the 2nd fret, 4th fret, 6th fret, and then you'll be doing 6, 7, 6. So like this. And you're gonna land, still kind of using that octave shape, but you're gonna add your middle finger here now to the 2nd string. That'll go on the 5th fret. So you kind of have this, this kind of power chord shape that we'll be using. And we'll do that again. And then the last time we do it, before we get into the chorus chords, are... And then you just stay on the 6th fret and still use that power chord shape. So you just add your middle finger there to the 7th fret. And then you're in the chorus of the song. So I like to add the melody here as well. I think it's kind of fun because we're up pretty high here. So, I mean, you can just play the chords. But I think it sounds better if you add the melody. So these chords that I'm playing are this one right here, and then we'll be doing a G, but a barred G. You can hear that's the same chord there, but it's just basically barred 7th fret, and then we're adding the 9th fret on the 1st string here. And then sliding down to a G, just barring the 2nd fret, and putting our pinky on the 5th fret here. And we can sometimes take that off if we're trying to follow the melody, or just leave it on the 5th fret if you just want to play through that. The last time we'll be also adding in a chord, but instead of playing our A down here, we'll be playing it up here in the G shape, and we're doing that so we can kind of continue the melody to finish the chorus. So altogether, that's going to sound like this. And then you're back into it. The only other part of the song, if you want to play the full song, is kind of the turnaround after the 2nd chorus. They get to a quiet part and they kind of build it back up before the last chorus. And it kind of has this kind of backwards octave thing going. So instead of just going up, there's a line that's coming down. So we're going to do both. We're going to hit the notes going up and coming back down. So we're going to start with the octave, and then the 2nd fret on both the 1st and 3rd string, and then the 4th fret of the 3rd string, and I like to add the 5th fret of, there's a couple ways to play this, but I think adding the 5th fret of the 2nd string is the easier way to play it. And then basically an octave again on the 6th fret. So altogether that'll sound like this. And then you're into the last chorus. So that'll do it for Everlong. Let's play some of the song.
hold you in. And now I know you've always been out of your head, out of my head I sing. And I wonder, when I sing along with you, if everything could ever be this real forever. If anything could ever be this good again. The only thing I'll ever ask of you, you gotta promise not to stop when I say when.
All right, that does it for Everlong. Thank you again for joining today, and please hit a like and subscribe if this helped you, and drop a comment below on what deep cut Foo Fighters song you think we should actually do instead of one of the most popular Foo Fighters songs in existence. If you got any deep cuts or any of the popular ones too, whatever. I'm open to any Foo in this channel, so let's go. Let's hear it. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.